진비고네 진지라도소 아니 최영원 보기 도에 가서 심장남지 뒤지감 아니 시천남 군지 내인데 대반에 도와이 양한대와 터바줄 전에 어떤 수하나 신전이 가르친 거래에서나 심장남지 뒤지감 시간아 딱 감대와를 시빈 인보 로마다 때랑 좀 유라만의 수리가나 도지네 등근나네 내 타보숨 군조숨 신찬이 산제 최소 감당 산제 최소 최초 군주군족 군조숨 신찬이 디제라 감체가 인장 삼장 감리 타 됐어야 된 말이에요. 진이처럼 내인데 지금 감대 가르래서나 지당 감세디 르를 주고 와리다. 와 감다 르세레 지바리. 저거 가서 봉단 끼고 르기 된 세니 송구도와 풍보 얘나 두마 봉반나 풍보 끼고 주와나 계시 르인반에 감세니 두승과리 인상 되는 되게 어디를 토마메반의 주위 감대와의 시빈 인보 대여바 인장 제 안에 천하 군지 내래 천하 탐재기 내래
So, taking a quotation from the Abhidhamma, manifest knowledge, then within which it says, sentient beings element at its respective phase. Then the element that is being referred to here is the Tathagata Garbha, and of the 7 Vajra points as stated within the Uttaratantra, then the first 3 points being the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and the 4th point is the Vajra point being the element, and this element here refers to the the lineage, refers to the lineage, and this is an element that exists in sentient beings since beginningless time, and it is referred to be the abode of every the base or the abode of every phenomena.
그 감세의 간들스가 내서 르글스가 아래스 디 윤전데 저기 가서 봉단 끼고 저기 텐시 야라 토마 봉바나 봉보 끼고 좋아나 제시스 야라 토마 봉바나 봉보 끼고 좋아나 제시스 르임바나 아니 감스가 감 봉감 제시스야지
So the reason why the element is the nature or is the Buddha lineage, why it is that is because when we sort of put together, when it is a composite of many things, then we say it's an aggregate, many kind of limbs or branches put together, then we refer to that as being an aggregate, and when it is the source of producing things, then it is known as a sensory source, and because it is an element, or because it is an element, so it is. So for that reason, then it is a lineage or a nature.
인자 토마 메비 뒤지 감 세데 요아 인장 토마 메비 뒤지 감디 감세데 가르래서 당 알아도 된다 니 가수 감세데 아니 아라신 르라고 그아리 좋아 르라고와 인자 르텔라 아니 아라신 남다 시리가나 아니 가서 아라신 남다 길 시리가나 아라신 내리라고 그아리
So, this element, is what exists since beginningless time, and this element is also what is referred to as the lineage or the Buddha nature itself. And this, of the types of the Buddha nature, then you have what is known as the naturally pure nature.
이자 토마메비 뒤지 감 세메라신진 남바 타바디 토마 메바네 라신진 남바 타바기 르키 오투바 인장 아니 라신진 마주바 인장 아니 쳇탐제기 내치고 아래.
So this beginner's element, which by nature is pure, naturally pure, because it does not exist intrinsically or inherently. So it exists in the nature of being pure, and it exists in the nature of being pure because it does not exist intrinsically. And so for that reason, it is regarded as the base or the base or the abode of all phenomena.
인자다 심라신지 타바인바 친한그 최도의 라신이 타바인배 랑신지 타배 아니다 랑신지 마주바인배 뒤르우제와기 차와체누바 뒤제중오이나 뒤마체중오 최진바제지이나야 라니 조제기 참에 아니 샤 참에 조투바.
So because this mind is naturally pure, by nature pure, because it does not intrinsically exist, so it is able to, as a composite phenomenon, then composition of phenomena causes are able to bring forth result. And in the case of non-composite phenomena, then a valid mind is able to make a placement.
It is
for that reason that in the root wisdom it says that wherever emptiness is applicable, then therein all phenomena is also applicable.
Oh, 아니 최남지 아니 가서 조직이 되면 조도바 규제나 조기 제와티 샤투바 인장 소마메베 뒤지강 아니 어세되다 최남 군진의 인사티 말이.
So because all outer inner phenomena, animated inanimate phenomena, are by nature pure, so all phenomena is possible, made possible by the placement of a valid mind, possible through the forces of causes and conditions, and for that reason, then we say that this element, since existing since beginningless time, is the source or the base for all phenomena.
대변에 좋아하는 양한대와 타바주를 시가나 딱 가서 카메라신지 남바 타바디 여바 임배 카메라신지 남바 타바 임배 아니 가서래 심 지마다 제장 카메라신지 남바 타바 임바 지마 심지 라신나 마슈바 심지 지마다 제제 지마 심지 라신나 마슈바.
So for this reason, this element, by nature being pure, so we say, even though the mind is with defilements, but those defilements do not exist in the nature of the mind.
아니 심지기 처만 좋아하기 탑 예배 탑 대달기 아니 심지기 처만 제왕을 때네 양알에 대와 도바지 그래 순거에 말에 대변에 좋아하는 양알 대와 도바지.
So even though our mind is with defilements, has defilements, but since those defilements do not exist in the nature of the mind, so there are methods by which one can purify these defilements. And when those defilements become purified, then liberation is is attained or is attainable.
이인산다 가서래 심 처마조에 탑 칸데시 요아래 했으나 안에 다 가르소래 레벨 안데요 시작은 나라 숨바나 신생이가나 아니 나조와기 소나미바 탐보도 파도 단에 도바다 타마 다시 꾼 도베 세가라 다 토마 치마 라바장 대내 치마 차와 자고와 인상 토마 아니 소나미바 탐보도 세가나 차단고 꾼내 람비 링하기 녀지 대 심지니 령하기 여제 대장 와 령하기 여제 장내가나 아니 가서 령하기 여제 대다 짜와내 도바지 영원라 另外个女就跟那让话给恰当没说到过个哎妈的。恰当没什么节的西卡了，在那几个话的，在那让星期主啊这边怎么得了，在那几个话印上，怕都打你多把汤，
So, what is the method for purifying the defilements of our mind? Then, for that we take a quotation from Aryadeva's 400 stanzas, within which Aryadeva states, saying, first, abandon everything that which is non-meritorious, and then then follow that up with the realization of selflessness. So here, first we need to rid ourselves of the gross, of the gross known virtues, and then come to abandon the more subtle non-virtues. So when we talk about coming to abandon these gross known virtues, then we have to abandon our obsessions of attachment, aggression of anger, attachment, aversion, which gives rise to our physical, verbal, non-virtuous negativities. These negativities of our body, speech, mind, of our body and speech. Where does it arise from? Is from our, from our poisonous minds of attachment, anger, and ignorance. This is the base for all of our non-virtuous physical and verbal activities. And where does this mindset of attachment, anger, and ignorance, where does it come from? That comes from our grasping at true existence. So therefore, then, in order to get rid of this grasping at true existence, which gives rise to our attachment, aversion, and ignorance, then we have to realize selflessness. And so therefore, as stated by Aryadeva, first abandon everything that which is non-meritorious, then follow that up with the realization of emptiness.
我听这一章，他真的跑到当年多把当在当时上把他说过的，是吧？当时上把，他们大习惯多把是个人打，告诉人吃完，当真吃完，我吃完当真让心里出来准备怎么的，
When Aryadeva says, first abandon everything that which is non-virtuous, then second that with the realization of selflessness. So here in the second phase, what we are trying to abandon is the this gross form of the ignorance, grasping at true existence, and then eventually, then abandon everything that to reverse or to abandon all views all views, which is basically the subtle form, the subtle view.
我听这一章，他谈到这个，请我们多去送把那些钱呢，安尼在剧里面告诉样，看给你看早就在那吃的讲来，安尼看着点写过的啥呢？安尼告诉的，让心那里，什么叫就去看到的视频，因为写的，但是早就在那写过的，啊。
So just as how it is stated here in manifest knowledge in Abhidhamma, likewise in the Uttaratantra, when sort of presenting this clear explanation with regards to the element, then it presents the element as this, as sentient beings, element of natural purity.
我这里在他这里，当然就在你学问上些钱呢，俺了看不上心情，哪怕他把是的， 康德尔西比宁波是甚至让心越少啊，是的，甚至让心了前面来把马去把甚至让心越少啊的，但中国话的话，越少啊印象，아니 감정 감기 제 정말 좋아야 그 제발 줘야 돼 이런 거 아래.甚至让心越少啊马印吧，甚至让心真的아니 정말 좋아야 그 제발 미주 봐 인상.但甚至让心越少啊就要得了，越少啊就该得了。아니 나샤 나바 지구권에 주바당. 치마 대다장 아니 땐도와 마인바 루보와 인바 주에치기 니도 시야한 거 아래.
Because because the defilements do not exist, do not exist in the nature of the sentient being's mind, because the mind is by nature, clear and luminous, so one is able to purify these defilements. One is able to purify these defilements. If the nature of the mind was not clear and luminous, then purifying of these defilements would not be a possibility. So because the defilements can be purified, since the nature of the mind is clear and luminous, so that is followed up with the explanations of the methods for purifying the mind, and explanations with regards to what are the defilements in their respect to being adventitious.
감대와 시인보디 섬지랑시 여사와 조에 주베텔라 안에 나샤나 바 지유관에 마 주디자바 담보텔라 안에 탄다 가소래 조상군이 추제상 지신이 메시당 르이치나 류장고 다도 상제님보 젠 세일가나 심제 탐제 다도 상제게 님보 제레 대 군장 가르레에서나 안에 조상군이 소치당 저위 상제지 아니 추구 칠래데 아니 섬전 탐제라 초아래 군장 직대고 봐.
Here in presenting the Tathagata Garbha, the element, explaining that this element is luminous, is presented by this point is presented by way of these 10 points. How Buddhahood, full and complete enlightenment, is all embracing, or like pervades everything. Zosankuni tochita.
Zosankuni tochita. Rezonga.
Dichugola. Cikchikchuolabs.
Cikchila. Zosankita ngala. Zowe sanjeji chugui chilade semjen tamjela choare.
That the activities of the Dharmakaya of the Buddha, pervades, covers all sentient beings. And because of that, then sentient beings are the recipient for all the activities, for all the divine activities of the Buddhas.
가르레에서나 처럼기 처남지 내주 지다와 티신도 내와들라 티신이 있으거래. 대 처남지 내주 간지 내고 말해서나 라신도 동병 오고 내고 인장 티신이 있어도 추춘이라고 고거래.
And suchness, the suchness here refers to the actual, or the way in which phenomena actually exists, which is by nature being empty, is the suchness.
안에 가서래 대신이디 대신시바당 semjen이기 아라신도 예매봐. 대신시바양 아라신지 브마주비 아라신지 도명 오예 오래 semjen양 안에 아라신지 도명 오예 我也没把印章， 아니 저마다 제비 티신이데 삼제 탐제라 여바라 고네 아니 삼제 탐제 티신시 인보자레 제네 송과인 바.
Do you have that verse in English? The Zosan can introduce that. Okay. The Tathagatas are, also empty of by nature, empty of inherent existence, just as sentient beings are also empty of empty by nature, empty of intrinsic existence, and in that in that way of being empty of intrinsic existence, that emptiness of sentient beings and that of the Tathagatas, that emptiness is indifferentiable. You cannot differentiate between these two emptiness.
저마다 제비 티신이 삼제 탐제라 여바라 고네 아니 삼제 탐제 감도라시 인보자레.
Since the suchness with defilements exists in all the sentient beings, so we say that the sentient beings have the Tathagata Garbha, have this element.
다스면 진짜 조상군이 초치탕 세제가 굉장히 직체. 소비산제지 최고 칠레데 삼제 탐제라 초외이장 아니 삼제 탐제 디신시비 칠레 주runre 제리 직체.
Because a perfect Buddha's body is pervasive, means that the activities of the Buddhas, cover or pervade all sentient beings.
아니 디신이 세가나 춘이 디체 춘이 디신 셰바당 삼제니기 랑신도 예매바 랑신 도명 오도 예매바 인장 저마다 제비 디신이 아니 삼제 탐제라 여발라 고네 삼제 타데 디시 인보자레.
And because suchness is without differentiation, means suchness here referring to suchness referring to the actual way in which things exist. So this suchness is, the suchness of the ultimate sphere of things, the suchness of sentient beings. In that kind of suchness, there is no differentiation, as stated earlier. The suchness of Tathagata, the suchness of sentient beings. In that suchness or in that emptiness, then there is no differentiation, and because of that, we say that the element which is the Tathagata Garbha is what exists in sentient beings, whose mind is with defilements.
전다 삼제 탐제라 아니 추구 규rungi 라신도 내외 르지당 수주구 규rungi 아니 견주그니 양다발랑을 주비릭스나 견주그니 여바 인장 아니다 여비치나 가서를 산제지 인보이 감도르시 디시시 인보 여 인장 안 대신 거래잖아.
Because all sentient beings have this intrinsic purity, natural purity that is able to transform into the Dharmakaya, and what is known as the developmental Buddha nature, which is able to transform into the Rupakaya, the form body. So for that reason, we say that all sentient beings possess the Buddha essence or the element for Buddhahood, Buddha nature.
일단 가서래 칠레에서 해야 돼. 이시추구 칠레에서 간대질레스 거래서나 아니 란주 이시추구 다젠 차와래 총이 아니 노지 규제 남가르지 연대지라 이시치 칠레에서 거래.
What exactly is the activities of the Buddha? What is being referred to as being the activities of Buddha when the transcendental wisdom truth body of the Buddhas then become the instrumental cause, the main cause for kind of invoking or instigating virtue in the mind of a sentient being. That transcendental wisdom of the truth body, the jhana dharmakaya, and then when that acts as the main, becomes instrumental for generating virtue, then that is what is referred to as the activities of the Buddha.
아니 도자되게 교우 충을람 소신도 냠소랑발라 때는 답변을 제우충 충을람 그 대자 가래래서나 희망원도 삶이 관바르와 희망원도 원도 관반 주제지 아니 미게 기본 그 수준 냠소 랜당 소신도 땜발라 때는 가사디 주라 아니 가사디 체디네 치패데 원도 삶이 관반 타외데 원도 삶이 관반라 거바데 이슈가 틀려래. 틀려니도 그나네 당보디디 샤고하래.
For example, in the case of an individual of the smallest intelligence or smallest capacity, we refer to such an individual as an individual of the smallest capacity or smallest intelligence, because such an individual's goal is to attain higher rebirth. Excuse me, in the future rebirth, seeking a future rebirth, that is a human rebirth or a deva, God-ram rebirth. So such an individual then engages in a path that requires the abandonment of the 10 non-virtuous actions, and such an individual, who diligently practices in such a path, and as a result of such as these practices, is able to secure higher rebirth in the God realm or in the human realm, then we would say, the roots of all of those virtue has been brought forth by the activities of that exalted wisdom, Dharmakaya.
Oh yeah, thing is Chile said Chile to say Ghana. Ani when the children song like that, when the children song to switching to Dan, the Yamso Lambala Dan, Ani Chimang the command Tabadi or Gasole, Nandru and Dendro Kobaki, Chile. They seem to call me Dan, Tabi Payan Dan, Sambala Dan, Lando switching to Chabala Dan. Ani 누구냐와 시와 타바도 타바데 이시 칠레 다데니 람레레 신도야 칠레제 요바르도 지당 칠레 뉴디 체니 아니 람지 땡라 거바 세데 람지 땡라 거바 세라 람지 땡라 거바 세데 람두발라 땡 피순 사와짐 단조게 땡상 피순 사와짐 맞잖아 아니 람 갈냠슬레 미니바 예자 토마 람지 땡라 거 that damn person saw what you do, Gana, Dillimba, Shindo, Ani, Juchung, Jing, Dini Chimbo, Tang, Ani, Juchimbi Solamne, so the Sanja Sai Palaco to your Limba, Shindo Tena to Sukuba in that Chilean did to some Shakuari. In the cup, the Ishichu Chile said, Cosa de Candidate Cogores, and
So how to interpret or how to understand the activities of the jhana dharmakaya, the wisdom, the truth body, the activities of that, how it is to be understood is that, that activity is sort of being instrumental in causing an individual to diligently to practice such as this form of ethics, this kind of morality, so that the individual practitioner is able to secure higher rebirth, able to abandon rebirth in the lower realms, attain a higher rebirth. You can attribute that as being the activity of that wisdom dharmakaya. Likewise, then, that activity of the wisdom dharmakaya being instrumental in enabling an individual to be able to reflect on the shortcomings of samsaric existence and allow for that individual to diligently practice, in that path of whatever needs to be practiced, then practicing whatever needs to be abandoned, then abandoning that, and through such a course of practice, then being able to achieve the total pacification of suffering, thereby attaining enlightenment. Thereby attaining liberation first. So like that. You can say that is also the activity of that wisdom dharmakaya. So you can apply the activities of that wisdom dharmakaya to each individual path. So where does all of that begin is first and foremost then that activity allowing for the attainment of the basis, the perfect basis of a human rebirth. Because without the perfect basis without the perfect basis with which you can practice the path, then one cannot practice the path. So first, the activity of that wisdom dharmakaya begins with first securing the perfect basis of a rebirth, meaning a human rebirth. And then on the basis of first and foremost securing a perfect rebirth, a perfect human rebirth like that, then gradually engaging in the respective stages of the path, from the path and practices that which is common to us, an individual of the smallest capacity, middling capacity, highest capable beings path, and on that path then engaging on the paths beginning with the path of accumulation all the way up to the attainment of our Buddhahood.
Oh yeah, that's another way. That matter that come get too much on the jamba, any too much on the do. 남산나바주가 통글와 오테나시젠다 노르도나 디신시비 틀레주run기 던체 디신시비 디신이 있으나 디신시비 딩게 돈이 디체 디신시비 디신이랑 오예 매바세가나 아니 semjen기 주말에지 sem지천이데 오예 매바세데 가르래서나 디신시비 디신이다 semjen기 유지 주말에 제비 sem지니가 오 라신지 돈병오 So with regards to this element, then purifying, explaining the causes by which one can purify the defilements. And this is explained by way of the 10 points, and all this is a possibility made possible because as sentient beings we are the recipient of the activities of the Buddhas, So and that the suchness of the Tathagatas and the suchness of this sentient being's mind with defilements, in that suchness there is then there is no differentiation. 아니 디시시비 리비 텐세데 릭세데 야게 심지천이데 라시네리레 다딜 로가시에 고엔자 단단디 연주지리 사메 심지 사베 뒤제기 모르주와 So when we talk about the Buddha nature, then you have what is the
the Dhamma Dhatu, Chuni, the Dhamma Dhatu of this is when the Buddha nature, then you have one that which is the naturally the Buddha nature, that which is referred to as naturally abiding Buddha nature. This which is the Dhamma Dhatu of that mind, and then you have the developmental Buddha nature, that the ever-developing Buddha nature, which is regarded as the seed of the uncontaminated mind. So you have these two.
Oh yeah, that tendrawi tishingi sumbote, tishingi vinyubo naba sumbote, kapdi semjirashi yesawa dubdi tamba ngoyu tendala tetruwari. Da semjirashi yesawa de nasha naba chi yukwana dubdi kana ngoyu trebu silchangwa tama makalyo ngoyu kone ngoyu shabatan du shabatan trebu shabat 아니 내 된주시하고 남자나 봐 주용 거래 뭐이 텐다테 투창 거래
겐 단징에라 가리숨부 숨바지
아니 이게 혼자시야 봐 그런 숨지 니와 주그 주는 질려 주는 그 된다 아니 대산제 기티신이 따라 예매 받당 아니 대산제 주고 주는 그 숨다는 숨이 셔야 봐 대숨 못
So these 3 points, these 3 points of, that all sentient beings are the recipient of the Buddha's activities. That in the suchness there is no differentiation, and that that we as sentient beings have that potential for development. So it is explained from the point of view of nature, cause, and result.
Oh yeah, not tender what the.
This from the 6 topics, the first 3.
Tender ina 가서래 렌제 난가 추다싱 시간아 아니 따도 가서. 다도나 신님은 매 세대 아니 지레주롱당 아니 림보체당 나게 림보체랑신라 야마슈바 나게랑신라 등마슈바 취랑신라 용마마슈바 체튼 엠샤그와레 데 어디르티 벨라 테수자그와레 인상 심지 치마다 차론이 바 벨라
As examples to illustrate that our mental continuum can be sort of freed of its defilements, is illustrated by the examples of the jewel, the space, water. Just as just as the water is just as that water is free from the is free from that dirt, but that the dirt in the water that dirt does not exist in the nature of the water and likewise in the case of a precious gem like gold, like that, then whatever dirt is there in that gold, then that dirt, the impurities of that gold can be removed from the nature of the gold, are all examples to illustrate, how the cloud, likewise the cloud, does not exist in the nature of the sky or the space. So, so with these sorts of examples, then illustrating the point that that the defilements are separate, can be separated, from our mental continuum.
Oh yeah, 아니 가서 대다 정말 장한디 잠바 탈을 아니 semjang 주지 지자기 셈데 지자기 셈데 아니 정말단 잡이 셈 라신 남다기 뭐 차주용 원유구당 아니 대단 니모비 타바기 아니 니모비 타바 루부 남다기 차주비 아니 원유구고 뭐 좋아 연장 di wala ta to ran xin ni mo me se din ba de ba
So this mind which is totally purified of defilements eventually, and the mind which is completely free of defilements, this becomes by nature pure, and is what transforms into the Swabhavakai holy body, the Buddha's body of nature itself, which is completely free of all of these defilements, the advantageous defilements as well, and for that reason we say that so therefore we say that that forever, all of the time, then there isn't any of that nature of defilements. They're essentially pure, without afflictions. So kind of explaining those 10 points in a sort of short way, in an abbreviated way.
아니 처음에라베 셔라다 띵진인지 내중아 세이가라 메와라 소비 티바치비 쳐라 메와다 아니 돈이도 비셔라다 아니 띵이지나 소와 대다 감지 처마 종식의 규제래세.
So what are the causes for purifying the defilements of the element is the aspiration to the Dharma,
메와다 시럽다 처음에라비 시럽다 띵진인지 내중아 처음에서와디 티바치비 쳐라 메와체.
So
하비 세레 돈이도 비셔라체. 인지 전부는 소화.
So the aspiration towards the Dharma, superior wisdom, concentration, and altruism are the causes for purifying the element.
다대다 처만 정화 체박이 주셔야지 가는 처만 정화 체박이 주임에 전순부터라 때네 아니 주샤바 전순부터지 이게 콘도 체박이 어디체 어디를 순요와 자기 전순부터 예벌집이 좀 말했지 예벌집이 주셔가 전순부터 나네 대신이당 대인이 어디 누마체로와 예벌집이 좀 말했지
그 하고마선 게 간데스마 간데 전순부 뭐 유다 되고 서로
전순부 된다 얘기
뭐 유다 되고
대신시에서 틀려 주는 게 주는당 안에 sem명 주지 대신이당 안에 가서 그래 산재가 주지 대신이 저 라시지 좀 병어 예매바당 아니 산재지를 그냥 숨이 봐 어디서 못 되래 대선보디 깨버리시비 주말에 대선보디 감 존재 그 줄나 봐 샤바레시.
So these causes for purifying the elements are causes for purifying elements, but they are not the causes for generating what is known as these 3 points, as stated earlier, that as sentient beings are the recipient of all Buddha's activities, that there is no differentiation in the emptiness or in the suchness of the Tathagatas and sentient beings, and that and the point of the the Buddha nature, these causes are not causes for producing these 3 points, but these 4 are for purifying the defilements of the defilements of the element.
전다데 여기 섬정이 심지 친이 요아라신남 가서라신남 라신드네위 오르드데 다 전다도 되죠. 라신드네위 르데 치마다 제와인다 티 치마 존지.
So,
so
in short, then, sentient being's mind, which is with defilements, then the ultimate nature of this mind is that it is by nature pure, but because it is with defilements, so these are the causes to purify these defilements.
대체 다티네 가수래 감대다 장발래 아니 추구 토바이데 감정제라 명화라서비 아니 주샤고는 마도 감지디 주시 감고랑 주샤마도체
So in other words, it's like these are the causes for purifying the element, but it's not the cause for the element. By purifying the element, then it brings the result, what it produces. By purifying the element, what it produces is the state of the Dharmakaya.
다티네 모두 세 주대 명화라서 아침마 정식 주대체 다 명화라서와 숨비 아니 명화라서와 숨보 대기 감지 처만 장배 제부라 가대 연구래서나 아니 제부 아니 가소래 바로 침바 시디 연구하래 장화대 장면 바로 침바 내일 바로 침바 답에 바로 침바서 다 와라 맡은 거래 so
by you have nature, cause, and the result. So the causes here are these four causes: the aspiration, dharma, wisdom, concentration, altruism. So due to the application of these causes, then you have the result of the you have the attainment of what is known as the perfection of the qualities, the perfection of the qualities of purity, self, bliss, and permanence. So these are the results attained.
So this
is just like brief presentation.
대부 매화라서 가나바 장이 바로 침바 토바스 감지 대우 때 바꿔서 마반레 아니 매위 대우 된다 갑디 감세디 가나 감주 주단 대부 뭐 준대 내된 주바당서 이거는 주 대비권에 감세기 알아와 감세디 가나 아니 매위 대우 매화기 대우 샤바기 아니 지금 민두스잖아
매화기
감기 대우 샤바 값수 바바레스 샤라 감지 대부 마샤바다 매위 대부 샤기도 스나 타텔레 렌자고레.
So if the question arises saying that what should be stated here is the result of the element, but instead of explaining the result of the element, then what is being explained are the result of the aspiration. So if a question like that would come up,
maybe they will have a change, maybe they will have a mewala sovi any do she mawala sova combalata do tanda tanda shiboni kamji debu jugres kamji debu jude kam number tabale debu shi tabade mewala sova shiwo tegi 감지 정말 장화를 되어와야지.
So, if this question arises saying, why is the result of aspiration being explained, these four results of the aspiration, purity, self-bliss, and permanence, is also, the answer to that is that these four results are also the results of the element. Because, because of the element being purified, because of the defilements being purified, then as a result of that, then you have these four results of the purity, perfection of the qualities of the purity, self-bliss, and permanence.
Anita, Tijela, the Digi, do Jebuchi Chimache. That do gonna share, do you gonna share what the less shabati? That you buggy led la Carrera, Sana, you are Sana. Ani Hove Anika Subi Tone Anika Sore, Yijun Jetang. Young little Pine Tone, Ani Tony Jeti. Super Koala Jena Dungaji Ransila Mada Bade, and the Dunga, Anika Dungaji Ransila Mada Bagi, and this Koa Dungaji Ransin to Samne. Koa Dungaji Ransin to Samna Koala Yujobi Jose Jede, Ani Koala Tavi, and the Tapatoni Logi Edge on Goari. Tia the Kayore Sana Tikala, Same Simji Sabin, Anika so the Genjuki Ritang. Simji Ranshin Yesawaki, Chuni Ranshin Jinamba Tabaki, Ranshin to never dig to Yebi, that Yabala Tene, Anita, Kovikian Tovada, Yandele Shiva Tovadi Yoguares, Yinza, te Yebi led dires.
So, of the 6 topics, we talked about the essence of the element, the cause, and the result, and then at this point is the function. These points are being presented briefly. So, the function here refers to the function or the action. Here refers to being are being able to realize the shortcomings of samsaric existence and the benefits of being able to attain, the benefits of attaining liberation. That that while one is born in samsaric existence, realizing that one is not free from existing in the nature of suffering, and through such a realization, then generating within one's mind this definite sense of emergence. To emerge out of this state of existence, to be totally averse to this samsara existence. So, such as the function here refers to being able to generate these mindsets of aversion towards samsara existence, the aspiration to attain liberation by seeing the benefits of what it means to attain liberation. All of this is made possible because of having this Buddha nature, which here in this case specifically that Buddha nature which is referred to as being the seed of the uncontaminated mind, that this developmental Buddha nature, the ever developing Buddha nature in us, and as well as because of the mind being the ultimate nature of the mind being that being clear and luminous. So we are able, because of these types of Buddha nature, then we have that kind of mindset to be able to have the renunciation of bodhicitta, to have the renunciation towards cyclic existence, the aspiration towards liberation. So that is the function.
아니 사모동반이 퇴뒤 잠바 아니 가서네 일을 가와게 맨에 치마 두바 소소 기위트네 동반이트네 난도라도 가와양다 양도충 라도 가와래지 치매 밀래지 아니 리지 바보 당와 주와 강인바 대란 조비 산제로이 사변이 시가 조비 산제 그 로이 사변이 세디를 쓴 거래 라 코스 상호동반이 최된데 가나 아니 늦어 텐저라 동바 터니가 동반이 터디 잡아서 난도라도 가와양다 동반이 태워라 때는 난도 가와라도 양도 중화당 가와텔라 때네 아니 믹치매 레바 아니 리지 바보 당와 주와 오 텐저와데 살산 조비 산제 그 유롱기 리디 비다 임바인자 갑딜레스 저와들레 고초거래
It is stated that for example, in the case of the potential disciples of the Madhyamika, then when they hear the teachings on the profound emptiness, then there is a sense of great joy experienced mentally, causing tears to flow from their eyes, and and the hair on their body, the body hair, to rise up. So by such experiences, then we can say, it's said that it defines that this individual disciple has the seed for the perfect and complete enlightenment. The seed to be able to develop that perfect and develop themselves in that state of perfect and complete enlightenment. And so the function, so we can say that this is the function as well. So this is in brief the essence of the nature, the cause, result, and function.
단도 공도 셰바기 메와라 소와기 아니 가서를 감정제기 연대시다 땜바 어테다기 감정제기 메와라 소에 연대 시보티가 감대다 장발라 때네 대부분 뭐바 셰와라 소에 대우 연대 대다당 아니 땜바지 연구와 인장 디셰바데라 땜비셰바 세팅바 오준데 레덴 세팅.
So then of the 6 topics, then the 5th one, or 10 topics, the 10th of the 10 topics, the 6th one being endowment or endowed. So this comes due to the causes of aspiration towards Dharma and so forth. Then you purify the element. You purify the element, and upon purifying the elements, then you have the result of the qualities. So that is the endowment.
아니 마다빈내가나 예비 아니 오이라베탕 마다빈내가나 여바 세가나다 가소래 치마 탐제지 마다빈내가나 여바 아니 치마 가시기 타라 가시기 마다빈내가 니르기 녀모비 집에 타라 아니 시시 집에 마다빈내가 타 여바 시시 집에 타빈내가 여바 다 마니야 차네 림바신도 감정적이 치마게 장니 토마 아니 딘진문주와단 딘진문주에 타봐야 돼. 괜히 딘진근다게 타봐야 해. 괜히 가서래 현정문주와 싸워내 방봐야 해. 괜히 시리 방봐용가 림바신도 연구와 인상 되게 마다비 내가 나 여봐서 뭐이랍도 이어와탕 셈.
And then you have the manifestation or the engagement manifestation. So that takes place at the phases of when one phases of being kind of not purified, partially purified. partially purified in the sense of, purified of just the afflicted obscurations. The seeds of the not purified, not completely purified in the sense of not having gotten rid of the very seeds of these afflictions. So at the first stage, then purifying the manifest forms of our grasping at true existence. Then follow that by purifying the imputed forms of the grasping at true existence. Then follow that up by purifying the innate forms, purifying the manifestation of the innate forms of grasping at true existence, and then fourth stage, purifying the obscuration to knowledge, or obscuration to omniscience.
Oh yeah, I gonna ya me ba sa de karere sana ani kondu sheba na shin je ne kam korang gi ngo ani ra shin le timen me ba ra shin ji timen na ba ta ba ani ka so le san je ge sai ra ani chuni ina ya ra shin timen na ba ta ba re ani yu je ji chuni ina ya ra shin ji timen na ba ta ba re 오라시 테마타반 남바타반 오이와 메바 내가 신유 권한게 누부지 테마 대단 차이 차네 아니고 내가 그 예와샤고 와데.
So when we talk about by nature indifferentiable, you cannot differentiate in nature, then referring to the element refers to that element being by nature pure, or being by nature pure and non-different, cannot be differentiated. That suchness of that element cannot be differentiated. The Dharma Dhatu of the Buddhas and the Dhamma Dhatu of the sentient beings, in that suchness, then you cannot differentiate. The Dhamma Dhatu of the Buddhas is by nature pure, and the suchness of the sentient beings is also by nature, is by nature pure, but temporarily, then sentient beings, suchness is temporarily, then is with defilements. At this present phase, then it is with defilements.
Oh yeah. I do the land Jubata Naga Tishikundu Drovici, Sigana, Yunjan Karesana, Rashi Chini, and then never Kundu Chesutrova, Rashi, Ani Simji Rashi, Yesawaki, Rashi Nambatabi, Ani Kasori, Chinite, Ani Naga Kundu Chesutrova, Naga Kun, Ani Karsori. Mam lama shune su de sanje ge si padu ranshin ji namba tabe tong ni de jesu zhuwa yin zang ranshin ji ji na ge gun du jesu zhuwa yin zang de tan de na ge ti xin gun du zhuwa yi ten na ge ti xin gun du zhuwa se din ba de.
And you have the verse. Simchingi, Ranshingi, Kadikatu the Sunga gang, Kadikatu the Sunga.
Ranshin Namda, Ranshin Namda Asana, Simjanji, Sim Ranshin number Tabatrava, Ranshin Tomba number, Ranshin Tombat, Ranshin Tomba number Tabate, only two Kunduchas to never Kunduchas to go Ranshin Chigni.
So,
Ranshin Timan number Tabe, Taja Chigni, never Kunduchas to go.
This by sentient being's mind, which by nature is pure, it exists in the present phase like that, all the way up to enlightenment in a state of purity.
Yes, yeah. 아니 로와 파비 내가 지다 산제기 내가 지체 숨 들어오기나 아니 내가 숨도 들어오기나 다도 군도 들어와야 가그래 쓰나.
So on one hand you're talking about the suchness of the sentient beings, the sentient beings mind by nature being pure is the same in the present phase all the way up to enlightenment. If you say like that, then are you contradicting these phases of saying sentient beings that are unpurified, and those, like in the case of the Aryas, with partially purified and completely purified Buddhas? Are you not contradicting these phases?
Oh yeah. 미가게에서나 내가 숨도 내가 숨기 내가 타다가 숨고 뒤 내가서 아랑시지 동바라 동비 오더라 주와메베.
So even though we state these three phases of ordinary sentient beings, not purified, partially purified, and completely purified, in stating these three phases, then in the nature of in its nature being by nature being empty, in these three phases there is no difference. In its nature being empty, at these three phases there is no difference.
Oh, Rashi Tombatella, Jua Mebe, Mingawa Chitang. Tatini Shidu Namda Kasu Sirikana, Shidu Namda Second, Yomo be tremendous, Sawana Tabi Negala, Mingua. Tinitele. Change the Jua Mares. Didn't Nega Temangela, Nega Lubuji Tramatan Tate and all at Jua Mare, Nega gonna Jua Resha Yoache. New Bataja Pambi Negala, and then you more Pambi Patram, the Nega gonna Jua Shai, but Tatu Minjuru.
So in these three phases, there is no sort of contradiction. There's no contradiction in its nature. At these three phases, there's no contradiction in its nature being that it is by nature being pure, by nature being empty, intrinsically intrinsic emptiness. Then in these three phases there is no contradiction, and at the stage of being totally purified, completely purified, then it is forever unchanging.
Yes, sir. I say so.
It's okay? You want to clap?
Listen. That's all. Into Sigurwa, Casore, Shindu Nangua, Nanda, Sirigana, Numba Tawane Pampa, Mario Pambicana, Shindu Nam, Num Tapa Binega, Anis Casa Digi, Rashi Namba de la Juatan Meva.
When
Nemo Papa Tagaram Mendo. So that Temangela. Nyumon be traumatic, Riba, she the Pangua in Zang, Rangsing did, don't be Wokola, Chinu Kola the Juayo Madeko, Kut, Nega with traumatic and Teta Trivicana, Ani, Matabi Negachita, Joseph, Mataba Tabi Negachita, and she do Namada, Tigi, Mindatusia Shakutwa.
At the last phase, which is completely purified, where all of the defilements are purified from its very roots. In that state, it is forever unchanging. There's no change. But prior to that, in the phases of not purified or slightly purified, in those phases, then there is that kind of change. But there is no change in its being empty by nature. There is no change in that. But there is change in these prior phases of being not purified or partially purified, like that. In those phases, there's change. But when you come to the last stage of having become completely purified, then it is forever unchanging.
Oh yeah. 다도 민주로 제 연대 예매니 된다 민지 공대 인시 차 시가라 연대 예매 시가나 다 티바숨지 타도 그 저우숨 보대 톱디 저 타도 그 되나 녀랑 그 저 타도 녀랑 다 연대 자좀 봐 란자 그저 타도 란자 자좀 아니 특전 그저 타도 특전 자좀 산제 고마 타와 티잖아 년주 방배 방바텔라 다 이와자니 아마레스 심랑시 동비 라 동바데 아니 랑시 님바다 방비 방바랑 오예메 바레스 니르 방비 오예 방 오예메 바레스.
So then the other point is that there is no difference in the attainment of the qualities through engaging in the three vehicles. Then you attain the result of the Shravaka enlightenment, the Pratyeka enlightenment, the full and complete enlightenment by engaging in the Shravaka vehicle. You attain Shravaka's enlightenment. By engaging in the Pratyeka Buddha's vehicle, then you attain that enlightenment. By engaging in the Mahayana vehicle, you attain that result of that particular path. And in that state of that result, in abandoning all of having become free of all the afflictions, in attaining that result, in the attainment of that result, there is no difference. There is no difference. With regards to that mind, which by nature is empty, becoming free or having abandoned the afflictions in that result, then there is no difference.
양태 대마 임박이 지당 가르서나 방자다 차비 차사나 아니 차바요와 산제기 아니 산제기 주지 과바데 녀음바데 시지 두반이가 방박이 신이에.
So with regards to these three paths of liberation, in the nature, with regards to its nature of having abandoned delusions, afflictions, there is no difference. But there is a difference in what is abandoned. In having abandoned afflictions, there is no difference. As for what is abandoned, then there is difference, because in the state of enlightenment, then you have, besides abandoning the obscuration of afflictions, the abandonment of the obscuration to knowledge.
Oh yeah, that digi dortengu kwana la ti kwanandi ngo jude le dan jubada nega tishi kundu drobi dadu menju yende yemeni tenda minshi gondo yinshi cha se digi tenda de dortuni tini shayen bare. 다 되는 마 제가나 아니 레레 신디가나 오셔봐 귀퇴셔봐 저위퇴셔봐 용디가나 다 다주 시원나 신신이人间가 주다 제 다도라 신님매매 세대기 나들이 시작을 하는 말에.
So this is a sort of like a brief presentation of these of these 10 topics with regards to the element, cause, through result, function, and endowment manifestation as presented in these verses of the verse that which refers to which is that verse? Verse 30. Like the natural purity of jewels, space, and water, nature of the basic constituent is always unafflicted. It rises, and so forth. This verse 30.
아니 단단히 나가 추다신 세대기 가나 디신시비 추구 이신지 누구다 자와 다다지 공동가 섭지 쉬어이 봐 디신이 나가 단자와 르 충감 남바타바다 쳇tum바 네 말에 이제 나가 추다신
the jewel is like the Dhammakaya, the space is like the suchness, and the water is compared to the nature, rik, or the element.
That's one. 다진된 나시잖아요. 되게 나 간제 감전라 감더르시비 님보지 간에 티제기 셈데만도 아니 감더르시비 님보디
So the Tathagata Garbha always refers to the mind with defilements. There is no Tathagata Garbha in the state of enlightenment. Then, of course, from the point of view of some learned masters, then they say that you have the placement of the Tathagata Garbha primarily at the face of the sentient beings, but although it is primarily placed at the face of at the stage of sentient beings, but it is also present at the stage of the results. So from the point of view of some learned masters, they say that Tathagata Garbha is present both at the stage of the cause and the result, that it's only presented principally at the time of at the stage of being a sentient being. So here, here the Tathagata Garbha is only at the phase of being is only at the phase of the sentient beings. When sentient beings mind with defilements, and not not designated at the phase of enlightenment, Buddhahood. So the Dhammakaya, if we ask, is that an element? Dhammakaya is not an element, because Dhammakaya is a state of Buddhahood. Nyuguta pejavres.
Kangi kasore chile chowe ani kasore chugu shaba la dene ishi chugu chile jurun dela to tawa chuwa yenzang ani chugu ishi nubuta peden javares.
Chugu kharita peden javares.
chugu ishi nubuta yage daga.
So the Dharmakaya, because the Dharmakaya is, the Jhana Dharmakaya is what emanates out all the activities. So is the source for all of these activities of the Buddha. So it is compared to being like a jewel, like a wish-fulfilling jewel.
Oh yeah, that I just want to say. 大多让心你们没是一个呢，既才你去他们家让心节毛主把就把印章让心节买把钱，啊，你牛毛别让心买把，是牛毛让心节买把，牛毛别让心节买把晒的，去过来也家就讲了，啊，你大多让心牛毛买是都行吧的，
So with regards to this particular line, Takto Ranshin Yomome, for that permanently there is, forever there isn't this kind of natural afflictions. Where is that line? Verse 30 again.
This one.
Sure, can you that verse 30? Okay, because of the power of fulfilling hopes of not changing to anything other in nature and being a nature whose entity is moist with compassion, the basic constitution is qualitatively similar to the features of a precious Vishgrani jewel space in water. So since a phenomena by nature does not exist inherently, so the afflictions also, does not exist intrinsically, and so you can say that is the Dharmakaya. This gengi tanti yawo jo gosu maso. Che tamje ran.
Ji chen yi da do ran xin me ba sa na. Che tamje ran xin ji ma zhu ba yin da ji chen yi ran xin me ba che.
So the general characteristic of all phenomena is that phenomena does not exist intrinsically. And that afflictions are also that afflictions are also non-existent intrinsically, and so therefore, forever there isn't the existence of afflictions intrinsically.
That is it. Do the share de do the share go at it. Chairman Lobby share of that issue and I think Chairman Lobby share of that thing in Lejuma, Sirikana. Pastor Gary used to give a Lucy and a priest Sabenda. And a madam Mewate priest Sabenda Java. And only to be shared at the madam Java. To my bounty jaguar. Chimela be share of Dang Sirgala. That was the one. Sabenda, Madam, Mamadan Chesumba, Sirgala. That Chimela be share of the Tuba Chimichella Meva, Jikcha, Mewati, Sabenda Javacha. Chances will be 2G, don't you to be share of the Padu Chimbade? Any castle that have be share of the Madam Java. Yeah.
So then I think the verse 33, referring to the four causes, which is the aspiration to the Dharma, which is like the seed, and the wisdom realizing emptiness, the bodhisattvas, realization of emptiness is compared to being like that of the mother. And then the womb, this verse says the womb which is the bliss of concentration, and the nurse which is the compassion are the bodhisattva are the bodhisattva children born from the mind of the subduer. That's so.
달리 가서래 최면사 비시라데 등등 내제 인제 내충아 아시기 되게 리연수 정화 내주 다 정직이 이 가르 장거와래서나 오라 매화당 시라당 아니 등에지나서 당 인지 첨벌어서 대다기 아니 리연수 정화적이 줄에서
So basically explaining what are the purifying causes and what does it purify. The purifying causes are the aspiration, the wisdom, the concentration, and the compassion. And what it purifies is the element.
나 들리 가서래 이제라 당我跟他下巴得了我有天他就得多对线呢我有天他就谈不得了那个刚长的马线那现在把就刚长的线做一些天天我有天他就有天的多对线天天我有天他就有天的接我些个的
So previously when explaining these points these 10 points the essence or the element, cause and fruit. Previously, what we went through was just very sort of like a brief introduction to them all, and now it comes like the more detailed explanation.
那看着是呢，我才去那个起来就用写个话，一让得了写得了，提醒学比学就过，学过的，俺那三笔团他们这准备都三级没教话，但点笔起。 안에 칠레지 롱기든 칠레지 롱기 semjen지양 안에 대시시비 연된데 안에 톱이 투당된 바들라 투당 현도 민주 투당 세티 말이 그래서 투당 세티
31 okay verse 31 because of having the power
시시비 추구대 삼비트 탐제 두바기 투삼이 미자바다 담바레스 추구대
and that the Tathagata's Dharmakaya is inconceivable to Samkhya has that inconceivable quality. Here explaining the nature, the main point of that nature, the essence or element, is the fact that that sentient beings are the recipient, are the vessel, are the recipient of all of the activities of that Dharmakaya. Because of having the power of fulfilling the hopes of not changing to anything other than nature and of being a nature whose entity is moist with compassion. So sentient beings have that capacity for being the recipient of the activities of that Dharmakaya. And this first line where it says, because of having the power of not changing to anything other, is that in its nature, being empty, in that nature, then there is no change to it. So earlier when we talked about space being likened, suchness being likened to space.
다 충감다 최tum바 세 그리데가나 양다바 라와라 추위 시리가나 연주지리 저와 삼의 숨지 사변디 양다바 라와라 추위 사변 조비체 아니 섬제라 인제외 렘병어외 라신지 라신이 비치나 다들 저 라신 숨보대 아니 리다 바신도 아니 이신진도 부당 난가당 취연단의 최초발에
and we talk when we talk about the nature that nature rig or that Buddha nature being likened to water as this refers to the potential for the development in sentient beings, which that potency for being able to develop, which is referred to as being the very seed for that uncontaminated mind, is likened to that water. So in this way, these three qualities are sort of illustrated by the means of the jewel, space, and water.
Yes, right. Yes, right.
Pesumbu di toneta.
Pesumbu di bashi tembares. Tudan shendu, tudan dembadang, shendu minju wadang. Ani lembing o sumbu tile dene ani o pesumbu di bashi tembares.
So
shugu di ishinjini vi bedang, tishini de nangi bedang, rik chungam chetu ba shabares.
The power here refers to the power of the Dhammakaya, and then you have the non-changing is the suchness, which is likened to space. The power, like the power in this particular sense, the power is the Dhammakaya, which is likened to the jewel, as in fulfilling all of the wishes, the power of the Dhammakaya, from which all of the activities pervade all sentient beings like that. And a non-changing is the suchness, which is likened to space, and being of the nature whose entity is moist with compassion is like is referring to that. Ever-developing Buddha nature, which is the seed for the uncontaminated mind, which is likened to the water.
Dumaji Nagala Gacha Topi Rivacha Jazamle, Shendu Jua Meba Nashi, Tishin Tejang, Gacha Dendro, Gazam Dele, Shendu Jua Meba Imba, Shendu Jua Meba Inta, Minjua Satimba.
Not and this second point, this suchness not changing to anything other in nature, which is likened to space, meaning that there is no causes and conditions to bring forth any changes in suchness, just like in the case of non-composite space. A non-composite space is the absence of obstruction and contact, and with respect to that, you can, other than that, you cannot change space other than you cannot change space in anything other than what is defined by as being just the absence of obstruction and contact. Likewise, suchness is suchness is just the negation of existing from true existence or inherent existence. Other than that, there's no change to its nature.
라시지나 위르기 띵나스나 대즈 호카보도도
Candice.
돈이라 돈이 띵나 여비 아니 가서래 양다발랑을 주비 릭스나 대즈 호카보도 인장 셈라시지 돈비 띵나 여비 셈라시지 돈비 띵나 여비 아니 양다발랑을 라시지 마주바게 셈 여러봐 라시지 돈비 셈 라시지 돈비 띵나 여비 아니 양다발랑을 주비 릭스나 아니 사메심 사변 양다발랑을 주비 티시시비 르라니 아니 니지 치련배 련바단 잡아 인지 섬제미비 인지 제지가 인지를 때는 아니 릭디야 세주고 완장 인지 치련병 我내와단 드레 아니 섬제라 인지 련병 我니지 소 사균대테리 인지 련병 我세테이 말
돈이 땡기 갈수와 돈이
라신진 내비 세나 돈이 레디티나 예바사 대서 코카보여 와라 돈이 그때나 르기였으나
so
라신지 돈비
so to say on the basis of emptiness on the there is that Buddha nature is hard to comprehend that so you have to it's better to say that on the basis of a mind which by nature is empty, then there is that nature. Okay, and so it is this nature moistened by compassion that you can bring it forward to manifest.
That's all. Oh yeah. 다들은 인지 출연해야 돼. 내대 텐데송도와 뒤라면서 되나라. semjerelela mina inzi kemanyu bagi khasa yo mare semje ta rangi inji yudu maso me semje ji yo mare sta rangi kewa chame ba inza semje ani macha wala chame ba ani zewa kemanyu ba yo mare de shetan gi jomne ani gasore semje 탐제라 me bi inji kemme jo ba de shetan inji choro ba jo ba de ani shetan gi jomne tilyong go ba.
So moistened by this compassion, this is not possible that we would not have some sort of compassion, that we would not experience some sort of compassion, independence upon independence upon individual sentient beings. So because we it's not possible that we would not have compassion in relation to individual sentient beings. We've had countless beginner's lifetimes in samsaric existence. In all of those lifetimes, then we have had mothers who gave birth to us, and so in that way, we have had that experience of compassion in relation to individual sentient beings. But why we do not have compassion in relation to all sentient beings is because that kind of compassion is destroyed by our anger and hatred, and so whatever compassion we experience is a conditional or discriminatory biased form of compassion.
가서 심지어 초려와라 매비 동화다 자족이 때와대 아니 인지 점다래 돼 아니 텐다와 대값이 인지 첨부 지금 말해 네 값이
so this limited form
텐다와 대자와 인지 첨부 그 점지다 채축을 했어.
So this form of limited compassion in relation to limited individuals that we have this kind of compassion, wishing for them to be free of suffering, is a mere form of compassion, but it's not a great compassion. Yet this mere form of compassion, this towards limited sentient beings, is the cause for the great compassion.
난 미리告诉你这两岁的国切回去，俺卡了sana 담비 취해 퇴와라 퇴위 낀기. 아니 샤비 사바 메바기 아니 사베 양다 발랑을 집에 이렇게라 고고와 조체 아니 대담도 마세 아니 자주서 비지 인제라 고초그래 송아.
So here in this text, where you have this reference of being moistened by compassion, refers to our opportunities of hearing the pure Dharma, and then allowing for the manifestation of the bodhicitta, the growth of that nature. Of that's seed for the seed for the uncontaminated mind.
Oh, yeah.